Hey everyone. This video continues our look at fractions and it's going to focus specifically on addition of fractions. Now, if you don't remember how to convert from mixed number into improper, you might want to go back and look at that video because we are going to have at least one problem in this video and in the next few where there are some mixed numbers involved, and you're going to have to be able to convert out of them. I will not be converting anything into mixed number in any of these. Now, the biggest thing with adding is, and it's going to be the same when we look at subtraction, is you need to have what are called common denominators. If you don't have the same denominator in each fraction you're working with when it comes to addition and subtraction, you can't do it. You've got to be able to make certain that they have the same denominator, and I will show you what I feel is a fairly easy way to deal with that. So we will look at that separately. So first, let's look at a real basic problem. Let's say that we have 2/3 and I want to add 5/3. So when I look at 2/3 plus 5/3, first thing I do is I look at my denominators here and here, and I see, are they the same? And in this case, they are the same. When they're the same, all I have to do is I draw a larger fraction bar, I move the denominator once onto the other side, and then both numerators just sort of move over like that. Basically, I just want to take this and move it over there with the operation. And that's all I have to do. 2 plus 5 is 7 over 3. I check. 7 and 3 are not reducible. There's no way to simplify them. So there's my answer. That's all I've got to do with them. Now, let's say that I have unlike denominators. Let's say that I have 2/5 plus 3/4. We'll keep the numbers fairly simple. Now, when I look at my denominators, I have 5 and 4. Well, they're not the same. So I need to get a denominator that both of them go into. Now, 5 and 4 are pretty simple, but there is a way that if you're uncertain that you can handle it. Basically, we're going to make a table. I'm going to put a little time symbol there, and I'm going to put my denominators, 5 and 4. We're going to make a t-table. And we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to stop there, but this table can go as far as you need to. And all I'm going to do is multiply a column to a row. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 and 4 is 16. 4 and 5 is 20. Now what I'm looking for is to get the same number in each column. And I want to get the first time I get the same number. I've got a 20 and a 20. That's the first time both columns have the same number. That is our stopping point. That's our common denominator. Specifically, that's our least common denominator. So I can draw a big fraction bar and put a 20 underneath. Now, since the denominator changed, the numerator has to also. To get a 20 with the 5, I had to multiply by 4. So whatever you do on the bottom, do on the top. It's always about balance. So that's an 8. For the 4, I had to multiply by 5. So I do that to the top and I get a 15. Well, 8 plus 15 is going to give us 23 over 20. 23 and 20 are not reducible. They can't simplify. So that's our improper solution. That's the answer to this. Okay, now we're going to look at one that has some mixed numbers. So let's say that I have negative 2 and 1/3 plus 4 and 3/5. Now the first step is I must convert the mixed numbers to improper fractions. Well, negative 2 and 1/3 is going to become negative 7 over 3 plus 4 and 3/5 is going to become 23 over 5. So again, when I look at my denominators, they are not like terms, so I must find the least common denominator. So I've got 3 and 5. Again, 3 and 5 are not hard, so they should be fairly simple for you to find. But just to play it safe, I'm going to make my table out. I always make my table go down to the bigger of the denominators just because I know that when you multiply the denominators together, you automatically get a like common denominator. So I get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I get 5, 10, 15. I can stop right there. I've got my like common denominators right there, 15 and 15. I don't need to fill out the rest of the table. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to say 15. Well, to get 15 from 3, I multiply by 5. So that's negative 35 plus, multiply the 5 by 3, so the 23 by 3. So that's going to give us 69. So then negative 35 plus 69 should give us negative 34. Those cannot reduce, so there's your solution. Addition is not hard. You do have to pay attention to the steps, and you must have a common denominator. That is key. Always aim for the least common denominator, the smallest common denominator. But if you get a larger one, you're going to end up having to reduce. If you're comfortable with reducing and simplifying, then that's fine.